Alright, so in this video I'm going to go through two things. Literal equations. I'm going to go through literal equations, and I'm also going to go through developing equations with two unknown variables. Now, a literal equation is a variable, I guess an equation which has at least two unknown variables, but the thing is we do not find a number solution because we have, for example, we have x and y in an equation, and we are asked to perhaps express it in terms of x. Now we're going to do some algebra, and I would like you guys to be able to do your algebra in order to get this done. You can do this in the calculator, and I'm going to show you how to do that. But if we're expressing in terms of x, then we need to get x by itself. So in this equation here, I'm going to subtract 1 from both sides. Negative 1 plus 1 is equal to y minus 1. That's going to cancel out this plus 1 here, and what I'm left with is 3x is equal to y minus 1. I then have to divide both sides by 3, and that's going to cancel that out. So we're just using our simple BODMAS in reverse to solve BODMAS, good old BODMAS, B-O-D-M-A-S. We're using the inverse operations and working up here to solve. So our answer is x is equal to y minus 1 over 3. Now how do I do that in the CAS? How do I do that in the CAS? Well, I go to menu, 3, 1, and I go solve. And what am I solving? I'm solving 3x plus 1 is equal to y, and with respect to x. So the calculator can do that. 3x plus 1 is equal to y. Is equal to y, and it's not comma y or anything, it's comma x. And what that will do is it'll rearrange the equation in terms of x and get x as the subject. So x is equal to y minus 1 over 3. So far so good, I hope. You may want to pause the video, and we're going to do this question now. Try to do it by hand if you can. So if you can, pause the video now and have a go at it. Okay, so hopefully that you've had a go at this question if you're trying it now. This time we've got to get x as the subject again. Now I'm going to look at this negative 2x, and I would like to get x by itself, but we could do it two ways. We could do it this way, and we can subtract 6y from both sides. So we could do that. So we've got minus 2x is equal to 10 minus 6y. And then I divide both sides by negative 2 because we've got this negative 2 out the front. I do that. Now that's one way to do it. But then of course you give yourself a chance of making some errors with signs. 10 divided by 2, be careful, is negative 5. Negative 6 divided by negative 2 is 3, so it's plus 3y. That's method 1. Or method 2 could be, I would like to get x and I'd like x to be positive. I would like this x here to be positive. So what I can do is I can add 2x to both sides, adding 2x to the left-hand side, and I'm adding 2x to the right-hand side. That's going to cancel this out, and you're still going to get the same result, but rather we've got 6y is equal to 10 plus 2x. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we want to get x by itself. I'm going to subtract 10 by both sides is equal to 2x, and then we're dividing both sides by 2, which means that we're going to get an expression, the same thing, x is equal to 3y minus 5. Once again, this one's a little bit trickier. There's a few more steps involved. So what you could do is you can do 6y. You can go to 6y minus, we haven't solved anything, have we? So we go to menu 3, 1, solve, and we're going to do 6y minus 2x is equal to 10, and we're going to solve with respect to x, comma x. And we've got x is equal to 3y minus 5, which is what we have here. So that's pretty much all we're doing with literal equations, is that we're simply rearranging the equation to express one variable in terms of the other. And you can do it both by hand and in your calculator. Because we're in further maths, we can use our calculators. Now I'm just going to just briefly talk about setting up worded problems. Now it's really important that, number one, we define any variables we're doing, and we're also defining whether it's in cost, in dollars, it could be a number of things. And we need to state what it is. Use information to then make some equations, solve equations, but be careful. If you've got two unknowns, you need to know, you need two equations to solve for two unknowns. Or you might need to do some substitution. So a lot of the time you need to, though, interpret the solution. For example, Jimmy has sold 10 bananas. You've interpreted the solution, so you've actually written it in English. Now it says here that the return fares to Sydney cost $115 per adult. So what I'll get you to do is just write out what the question's telling you. $115 for an adult. That's how much you're charging each adult, and we're charging $70 per child. Okay, now if a plane is carrying 280 adults, so there's 280 of them, and there's 35 children, just doing that might be able to get you a mark, really, okay? But at the same time, now what we've got to do is we've got to define our variables. So what we're going to do is we define our variables. We can make up whatever variables we like as long as we define them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say let A be the number of adults. We're going to say let C be the number of children. Now, you might not need to say what type of unit it is, but a number, of course, is just a number. But we could have units of dollars. We could have a variable which is in meters, kilometres, centimetres. It could be a unit which is in seconds, or it could be in minutes. So it's really important for you to state those. These ones are this is a bit more obvious. Now it says here how much money was paid altogether. We could actually declare another variable, and we could let M be equal to the total money from the flight. And that, of course, is in dollars. So you would write that in brackets next to it. So we've defined our variables. Now let's write an equation. I'm going to say that I've got M, I've declared M, so M is the total money. And you've got to think about it. I've got $115 per adult. Now that adults can vary, but the problem is we actually know what those values are. But I'm going to write an equation in terms of A, M and C. And because I know what A and C is, then I can find M. I only need one equation. So A is equal to the number of adults. If I multiply that by 115, that's going to give me the money from all of the adults, plus $70 per child, so that's going to be 70C. So therefore, our equation is 115A plus 70C, and that's going to be the money, and that unit is going to be in dollars. However, these units here, this is, I guess, there's technically a little dollar symbol here and a dollar symbol here, if you like. So what we need to do now is let's substitute the values for A and C, which the question has given us. They've given us these values. So that is equal to 115 times 280 plus 70C, so 70 times 35. That is going to give you an answer of $34,650. Now, you need to ask yourself, have I answered the question? How much money was paid altogether? I've just got M is equal to that. You need to interpret the solution. So what you need to then say is the amount of money received, I before E, except after C. Received. The amount of money received was $34,650. I'm going to stop there. You need to have a go at these, and good luck.